Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of the EPL Index Transfer Daily. It's Wednesday, the 7th of August. There's a lot of big clubs doing a lot of big things, apparently. Some names we know, some we don't. So we might as well get right into it, hadn't we, ladies and gents? I mean, the biggest story by far, maybe of the window, I think it's fair to argue, is Julian Alvarez and his apparent or imminent move to Atletico Madrid from Manchester City. Now, David Ornstein, probably the most reliable we can see, said that deals are pretty much agreed. Personal terms have now been agreed by Julian Alvarez, and it's an overall deal which could be worth up to, with all add-ons included, 95 million euros. So with add-ons, you're talking potentially around the 81, 82 million pound mark. So we are talking big business and easily the biggest deal of the window. So we're expecting that to go through. David Ornstein also had a few things for us. He interested Liverpool fans yesterday because he wrote that Liverpool aim to bolster their side by signing a number 6 from outside the Premier League. That is their priority position at the moment, but there was no name given, which makes you suspect David Ornstein does know the name. He's just choosing not to share it. Maybe that's at the clubs Liverpool's asked. But yeah, Liverpool's number 6, which a lot of their fans have been waiting for. If you're listening, Reds, no doubt. We'll see what develops there. Now, Manchester United fans, there's a lot to walk through for you here. So we'll get right into it. David Ornstein also mentioned yesterday that Denzel Dumfries, the Inter Milan right back, is holding off signing a new deal at Inter Milan because he would actually like to move to Manchester United if it's possible. However, we've talked before about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, haven't we, and the situation there, so we'll see. But yeah, that Denzel Dumfries does want to become a Manchester United player, but there's a lot of steps to happen before then. And probably the biggest news as well yesterday, a couple of midfielders that we mentioned the other day that the search had turned away from Manuel Ugarte, the PSG and Uruguay midfielder, mainly because of the fee that PSG wanted being a bit outside Manchester United's range in their current scenario. And the Athletic and various other outlets mentioned they are broadening their search, maybe that's fair to say, cutting their cloth accordingly. And the names being linked have names like Sander Berg, Burnley's currently in the Championship now, and also, according to various outlets, Youssouf Fofana, who is the French international, Monaco midfielder, only a year left on his deal, as various outlets again report. So a fee around the £30 million mark could get that done, as seems to be the suggestion in a few outlets as well for Sander Berg as well. So maybe United are shopping in that market due to the current restrictions, if that's the right phrase, on them at the moment. In fact, an interesting one from the Telegraph, they said because of the current situation, Ten Hag has not ruled out keeping Sofian Amrabat on another year-long loan. I mean, he spent last season, didn't he, there at Old Trafford for Fiorentina. That fee was paid. And then again, the Telegraph said it may be a loan, just to be clear, may be a loan. It may possibly be another season-long loan or permanent move. And just I was scanning the details at the same time. I'm not the best multitasker, apologies. So yeah, there we go. It'll be interesting to see if United do those types of things, but maybe the cloth has been cut accordingly at Old Trafford. And again, there's some mention still around De Ligt, Mazraoui, Wan-Bissaka. We will see how that progresses. According to Di Maurizio, Arsenal are in the race to sign Victor Osimhen. There's interest as well from PSG. That seems to have gone quiet. PSG don't seem happy with the fee they're being quoted. From Napoli, Napoli were obviously looking to do a deal with Chelsea potentially that involved the Lukaku, the Osimhen swap. However, that doesn't look like it's happening, mainly because Osimhen doesn't seem to fancy Chelsea. There is a lot going on around there. Barcelona, they missed out. We'll go a bit wider field. They do miss out. It seems like Nico Williams, he's set to stay at Bilbao, and they move quickly. Dani Olmo was on a flight, wasn't he, last night to Barcelona. They've reached that agreement, spishing around just over £50 million all in for the attacking midfielder from Red Bull Leipzig, obviously one of the heroes of Euro 24. So they couldn't get them all, but Barcelona will have Yamal and Olmo in their team next season. this Spurs one, Dominic Solanke, it isn't going away. The Standard's got again that very much they are interested in trying to do that deal. However, the Standard does have a link that says it could well be linked to the future of Richarlison, the 27-year-old Brazilian international striker. And a few outlets have got that Saudi clubs are just keeping an eye on him as well at the same time. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. Chelsea fans, you know about, we mentioned him yesterday, Amora Dion. He looks like he will be heading because Atletico will need to balance the books a bit. So various outlets, again, around 35 million, somewhere around that mark, which is less than you were quoted originally, to be fair, in the window. Should be heading to Stamford Bridge. That's expected by various outlets to go through. One that isn't, though, we've talked about it recently. Scott McTominay, the Times said that they have now cooled their interest. They made a £20 million bid for him, which was rejected by United, who were seeking around 30. He's got officially 2 years left to go on his contract. It's a year, and the club have an option, which naturally they'll exercise at the same time as well. So, yeah, it seems that he may be staying, which might not be necessarily what United want at the same time. And probably the big ones to keep an eye on the continent. We mentioned Atletico Madrid. I mean, Conor Gallagher, that looks like it's going to go through. Alvarez, we mentioned. Robin Normand, I think it's pronounced, the Spanish international centre-back, has gone there from Real Sociedad as well. So they're making moves galore. And they're also doing another move for Xavi Guerrera, the Valencia midfielder, 21 years old. Very much, there's been a lot of changes there, hasn't there? There's been a capital injection, as we know, and they've had to be quite frugal the last few windows. So very much a sea change. Big money being spent at Atletico, hence Amora Dion set to depart. And the one to still keep an eye on as well for Villa fans, João Felix. Naturally, there's been a lot of talk, and there's a lot of suggestions again in the Spanish papers today that he would like Barcelona, but now that Dani Olmo's come in, the need has lessened there. So Villa fans, you will be hoping that almost by default, however it works, I know a lot of Villa fans would be happy if João Felix did end up at Villa Park. So we'll have to see what happens there. There's a lot going on, ladies and gents, as we say. Big money being spent, big links, even one there that the PSG is starting to ramp up. Pacho, the Eintracht Frankfurt and Ecuadorian defender, is set to go. Chelsea as well, just to keep a few eye-ons, like Fofana seems like, as we mentioned, on his way to Leicester. Broja, they want to ship him out as well. Now they're getting, or it looks like they're getting Amora Dion in at the same time. There is a lot going on. And in a good way, it does feel like the transfer market has really accelerated this week, and so it should. A lot of the players are back on, and there's just the Olympics now, the Copa and the Euros are finished. So that is what we're looking forward to. But ladies and gents, on Wednesday the 7th of August, that was your EPL Index Transfer Daily.